What is my Pepe price prediction? So this coin that's right now at 0.00002231, where will it go over the bull run? Is it able to go to a cent? Is it able to go to $1? Well, let me tell you. So the last time I made a video about Pepe is a couple months back. And at that point, the price was 5 zeros and a 4. And we were extremely happy because Pepe at that point just hit a new all-time high. The previous time before that, it was at 5 zeros 16. So it had basically doubled from the last time I talked about it. And as of this point now, it's done like a 15x or so from that point. And so even though I'd be happy to sell Pepe at these prices already, I will give you guys a little rundown as to what I believe is going to happen. Now, before I move on, if you've not done it yet, make sure you check out the link down below to 𝗏𝗏. It's a crypto exchange I'm using right now, and you can use it all over the world without KYC. It's just very easy to use. And you also have yourself a couple of juicy sign-up bonuses or deposit bonuses, so just check it out. The link is down below. And if you can't use it, use a VPN. But it's literally one of the best platforms for international traders right now. Because as of this point, Pepe has established itself as the best meme of the generation. What generation, you might ask? Well, of the quote-unquote newer generation, where, again, of the previous cycle, Shiba Inu was by far the best, and Dogecoin, of course, is the overall king, but the best, like, new generation meme was Shiba Inu. Of this cycle, I'd say the most popular one has been WIF. Overall, if we're talking about the most amount of success, while still staying on the low in comparison to Shiba Inu, we've got to attribute that to Pepe. And I've stated a multitude of times on this channel that there's a very good chance that one of these meme coins is able to get to Doge's level. So for example, overtake Shiba Inu and actually take over some of Doge's market cap as people shift over and the main cult, diverges. We're not sure if that meme coin has been created yet. It could be something which everybody is finding stupid right now. Like for example, a peanut even that literally just got made a few weeks ago. Because you have to remember, coins like Shiba Inu and Pepe actually also went towards their heights in a very short amount of time. Just like how Peanut right now is only like a few weeks old, how ACT is one of the biggest memes that almost nobody cared about a few weeks ago. These things have gone up thousands of % over the past few weeks, as you can see with Peanut and ACT. And to that notion, many of these small memes will still probably get a Binance listing or some sort of listing soon to pump it to the freaking moon. But those are all quote unquote small memes. If we're talking about the top, coins like Pepe, can it go to a cent? Well, to go to a cent, let's just say first, can it go to $1? To go to $1 from here, it has to do about a 40,000x, meaning every single dollar we put in right now is worth $40,000 at that point. So $1,000 is worth 40 million. That's a lot. And again, from that perspective, market cap, we shouldn't even think about what that number is going to be. This number is just so insane that I'm not even sure if it's worth even thinking about. But if we take away 2 zeros and we go to 1 cent, how realistic is a 1 cent per Pepe price tag? Because I hear the same question about Shiba Inu, and honestly, they're quite similar because they're both have got 4 zeros. There's only slightly more Shiba Inu, and you can see it's about 50% more in terms of value, even though the prices are extremely similar, but that is due to the supply. Now, if we're talking about 1 cent, we're talking instead of a 40,000x, only about a 400x. And at that point, even though it's still extremely far away, right? Because in one cycle to do a 400x doesn't really sound logical to me. If I see it from a 2-cycle perspective, where, for example, this time around we do a 15x or so, then, or we should actually say, if this cycle does a 20x, then the next cycle, all it has to do is a 20x again, right? So then we're splitting it up into 2 cycles. And even though, again, that sounds quite far-fetched because incrementally is going to get more and more difficult, some of these parts are not fully known. We don't know what the dollar's purchasing power is going to be over the next cycle because Trump is now coming into office and crypto has taken over so much that a lot of paradigm shifts are already happening in the background, even though many people are not realizing it. And man, what we thought was a maximum amount of money keeps getting broken, right? For example, 5 years ago, nobody thought, okay, let's say 10 years ago, nobody thought that a meme coin could go to billions of dollars like this, right? But look at where Dogecoin is, 55 billion. What's stopping it from really going into the many trillions of dollars for these memes? And eventually, like right now, the biggest altcoin has 400 billion, I think, Ethereum. But at some point, I think even the bottom of the top 100 is probably going to have a $400 billion market cap. Just like how stocks have gone up so much over the past 25 years, I think crypto will do that in a more accelerated form. Because if you look at the Bitcoin ETF, for example, what the institutions are buying, it's such an exponential form. No product we've had in the past has had this much of inflows in terms of interest and money going into it. as the Bitcoin ETFs have done. So the whole idea of no, that amount of money can't flow in, no, these market caps can't be hit, I think you have to really kind of look further than that and open up the possibilities for way more than you right now are thinking of. So to that extent, well, even though I'd say even 1 cent per Pepe is very, very high, it is not really something I'm going to be waiting for. If we take it back down, again, one little step, instead of 1 cent, we go to 0.1 cent. At this point now, we're talking about a 40x. Now that is something which I can very much get behind. For example, if we do a 15x or so this cycle, next cycle, all we got to do is about double, a little bit more than that, but that's very possible. So that's actually possible in the span of, like, let's say, for example, 4 years or so, without it being too crazy. Because again, if we're talking about a 4,000x or whatever, yeah, we don't really have any clear path. But if you're saying, hey, we need to go times 40 from here, there's actually a very clear logical path. Because every single cycle, a lot of the top contenders, they do at least a 10x or so from their current points. Let's just say that this time it does a 10x, but next time it only does a 4x. Well, then we've gotten to that point already. To which extent, I mean, again, if we're talking about this cycle, my thoughts on Pepe are more towards the, like I just said, kind of at a high end, 15x or so. So whatever money I got in right now, I think it might be worth 15 times as much at the end. But if we're talking slightly further, for example, one more cycle out, I don't think it's strange to rule out, I don't think we should rule out a 40, for example, X, because it's really, realistically speaking, not that high. It's high, but not something I see as unattainable. But yeah, that was my price prediction on Pepe. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below, and make sure you press the like button if you haven't done it already.